What's up, guys, and welcome back to another video. It's your boy RobinKey, as you already know it. All right, and today, guys, I'm gonna discuss with you guys one of the most important topic that you'll probably come across when it comes to trading, right? So that is how to conduct a trading plan. So I'm gonna show you guys my trading plan, and basically something that I use every single day before I trade. All right. So stay tuned. Please do follow me on my other social media platforms. If you are new here, press that subscribe button, press that notification bell so that you stay connected. So without wasting any more time, guys, let's jump straight into it. Okay. So we're going to basically be looking at how to compile a trading plan, right? So just before you get into the steps of compiling a trading plan, well, this is also one of your steps, right? The most important thing that you really need to identify is your own personality. So what type of person are you? You understand? So the better you know yourself, the easier it becomes to compile a trading plan, right? Because it's your trading plan. Hence, your trading plan might not work for any other person, right? That's because it is for you, right? It's based on your own personality. So what am I talking about? Patience, for an example, right? Are you patient enough? And are you able to actually wait for a setup, or are you that type of person that wants to rush into trading? Maybe you don't have the patience to wait like 2 days for a setup to play out before you can actually enter. Maybe you want to trade every single day. So what type of patience level, if I can call it that, do you have, right? And that will determine whether you are a swing trader or you are a scalper, right? So you're a scalp trader. So patience, you need to know the type of patience level that you have, right? And then the next one is your risk level. So are you a low risk taker, a moderate risk taker, or a high risk taker? You need to know that, because that's going to help you in also compiling your trading plan, right? So if you are the type of person where you do not want, or you don't like losing a lot of money, that is, you feel like losing a lot of money is not in your personality, then you should consider yourself as a low risk taker, right? Moderate, well, not too low but not too high, right? It's literally in between. And high risk taker, you want to see the big numbers, right? So you are one of those guys that literally want to make cash quickly. You are one of those guys. The big numbers fascinate you. So you need to know those type of things, right? And then the next one is pressure. So how do you handle pressure? Okay, so that's also important. How do you handle pressure, right? And when I'm talking about pressure, I'm basically talking about your panic level. So when you are in a trade, right, do you panic? Is your panic level high or low? Are you the type of guy that when you see big numbers, you just want to close immediately? Or do you, no, man, I'm still waiting for my setup to play along? All right. So now you're probably asking yourself, okay, so where do I fall in? Like exactly where do I fall in? Well, I'm actually swing trader, scalper. I'm also a moderate risk level taker, as well as high, but my panic level is actually high and low, right? I know it's mind blowing because it's nearly everything. So now I'm gonna show you exactly what I do, right? Because I'm this type of person and I've identified that the type of person that I am, hence I have the trading plan that I'm about to show you. Okay. So the next step that you would want to do is basically trading accounts, right? Now you want to work on your trading accounts, right? So what do I mean by that? Well, because I nearly fit everything that I basically mentioned in my personality, then I figured, you know what, maybe I should then required to open two trading accounts, right? But what am I going to do with these two trading accounts? Well, the first one is going to be the Scalp account. So this is where my high risk level, my high risk personality comes in. And in this account, this is when the big numbers come in, because I'm basically jumping in and out. All right. Then my second account is a swing trade, right? So this is where my moderate risk level comes in. So where I can basically wait for the setup. Then this is where my low pressure comes in, whereby I do not panic a lot, and I can let that trade slide all the way, because the numbers are not that scary to me. The numbers are not that fascinating to me when I'm in profit. And when I'm in losses, they're not scary. So I can let it slide. I can let the entire setup play out, right? So that's my swing account. And then I need to set rules for each and every one of those accounts, right? It needs to have its own rules. It can't have the same rules. I mean, the risk levels are different. So I cannot definitely have the same rules for those accounts, right? So the next thing is leverage, right? So now it is important, obviously, to have leverage for each and one of those accounts, right? So obviously, my scalping account, because I'm looking for small movements, right? And I'm looking to make big numbers in that small movement, because it's a high risk account, which is the scalp account. That's the account that's going to have the most leverage. While for my swing account, I'm taking the lower risk, right? Because I'm literally trading long term. I'm swinging, right? So that account would have a low leverage. Get it? All right, let's move right along. Then now I'm basically specifying. Now the scalp account will then have a 1:500, right? While the swim account will have 1:100. Those are my leverage for my accounts. Okay, let's go to the next point. So my next point will then be rules for the scalp account, right? So rules for the scalp account, the first thing that we're going to look at is the capital, right? So in this type of account, you then make sure that you keep the initial deposit in the account wallet. So there's certain brokers that have this, right? So you would deposit money into the broker, and then the broker would have a wallet, right, where you deposit the money into. And then you would then need to transfer the money from the wallet into the trading account. So if you are using that type of broker, then it is important that you keep the initial deposit in the wallet. So you only trade the money, or rather the money that you are willing to risk. So if you, let's say for an example, you are, sorry for that. So let's just say for an example, you are willing to risk 250, like the accounts that I trade, right? So the 250 account, I would then only deposit 250 into my trading account, but my initial deposit would be 1,000, for an example. My initial deposit would be 1,000 into the wallet, but then I'll take 250 and put it into the trading account and trade that. Okay, I hope you understand. Then the next thing is that then you would want to only scale the profits that you make, right? So you're only scaling the trading account with profits. So let's say the first 250 that I deposited into my trading account, right, I made a profit. Then I would then withdraw some of the profit. So let's say from 250 I made 500 bucks, right? So I would only withdraw, let's say I would only withdraw 250. Then I would leave 500 into the account. That's scaling in, which means now I can take double the risk that I initially took with the 250 account. All right. Then The next thing that is important, now I need to identify my lot size. Okay, so I am speaking in terms of my scalping account, which is the 250 account, right? So what do I use? So when I'm trading gold, I use a maximum of 0.05 with gold trades, right? So I do not open one position of 0.05. In fact, I would rather open 5 positions of 0.01, which still adds up to a maximum of 0.05. Reason for this is because I've already calculated the movement that would require my account to blow, which is basically my stop loss. All right. Then when I'm trading US 30 and Nasdaq, obviously it only allows one position to open with that amount of money. So 250, I'm speaking in terms of rands, right? So it only allows me to open one position because that's basically the only thing that I can open. Keep in mind as well, guys. So this broker that I am referring to gives me 100% bonus. So if I transfer 250 into my trading account, it then becomes an equity of 500 because it gives me a credit of the additional 250. However, the account will blow if it gets to negative 250. Do you understand? So the credit is basically just an additional leverage, if I can put it like that. It is the amount of money that allows you to open positions, but it does not mean it needs to blow on 500. No, it will blow on 250. Hence, I can only open one position. Okay, so the next one is your entry. So your entry needs to be precise. Your entry cannot, you cannot mess up the entry point. So I've decided that I will only enter at support and resist because that is my most chances of winning the trade. So if the trade is at support, then I would enter my buys at support. Obviously, I would still need to wait for my minor confirmations on the smaller time frames, but that is where I will enter the trade. If the trade leaves me, I would let it go because my account won't sustain the rejections. If it comes back for a retest, my account cannot sustain that. All right. Then it is also important on trading sessions. So you need to basically trade the most volatile time. Okay, so which I have decided it would be the New York, based on the pairs that I trade, based on the instruments that I trade, right? So the New York session, when the New York opens 2:30 UCT +2, right? So that's South African time, and 3:30, right? So those are the most volatile times, right? So the next one is rules for the swing account, right? So we're going to look at more or less the same things but different rules. Okay, so the capital, this time the capital, it can all be in the trading account. Reason for this is because if you're depositing 1,000, you can literally deposit the entire 1,000 into the trading account, because in this account you're going to basically trade for long term. So it wouldn't be expected for you to blow an account on one trade, right? So yes, so you're basically growing this account, so you shouldn't be you basically should be trading your 2% risk type of strategy on this account, right? Then your lot size. So also keep in mind that this account has a lower leverage, so your lot sizes also need to be calculated, right? So for my lot sizes, I have a maximum of 0.25 on gold trades, right? So 0.25, that is the maximum that I would take for a gold trade. So normally what I do for this account is I would open 0.05 and I would open 5 of those positions, right? And the reason why I do that is because I get the chance to for one position to actually get the perfect entry. So the more it keeps rejecting is the more I keep opening positions. I just like to trade like that. Then the maximum of 2.5 lots on US 30 and NAS 100. Okay, so that is basically my lot sizes on these accounts. Remember, the risk, you can only calculate your own risk. I'm only risking like $50 per trade on these accounts, on the swing account, right? I'm risking literally 200 not 200 but $50 per trade, right? Then my entry, well, my entry is also the same, support and resist, but I can also trade trend line setups, right? So it allows me to trade trend line setups as well. Okay, because it's got more space, so more breathing space, meaning my entry don't really need to be super perfect, right? I can actually allow rejections, hence I can trade trend lines as well, where it rejects to the next support and then all those stuff, setups. I can also do that. It's a swing account, so it allows me space. Okay, and then trading sessions, well, my trading sessions is all of them. I can literally trade from your Asians to your London to New York. It doesn't really matter. All right. Um, I can literally trade all of them. However, mainly it's London and New York. All right. Okay, guys. So this comes to the end of our video, the end of the episode, the end of the movie. Okay, it wasn't really a movie, but yeah, comes to the end, guys. So it's nice, short, straight to the point, and that's basically how I just like to keep it, right? So the shorter it is, the better it is, the sweeter it is, and the more it sticks to my brain, and then I can just basically follow the rules, right? So it's just a summary. It's basically just understand the personality that you have. um if you're like me, then you would I would actually suggest that you have two trading accounts where you can split these two personalities as well and see how they play out, and then you can also get to see which personality wins you more in the market, and those type of things. So it's quite interesting to see. Please leave a comment. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new, and hit that notification bell so that you stay tuned. And I'll see you guys on the next video.